Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Photomode Unplugged. I'm Ruben, this is Mick, and we are your hosts. Hey, Mick.
Hey, I'm
let's
still
pretend
laughing
that we
from the
just-
last bit that we did.
What? It's better than the last one?
No, I'm still laughing from the last little bit that we did.
Yeah, it's hard. They don't know, or maybe they already know. We don't know.
Depends when this is. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Yeah, no. So, your week.
Oh, my week. Oh, I don't even know. I've been lost in a whirlwind of stuff. But mostly, I just enjoyed the end of the World Cup. Hence, in honor of Argentina's victory. It's a retro one as well. This says Campeón del Mundo, which means, as I'm sure you know,
It was a long time ago, before this weekend, that they won like 20 plus years, right?
So they won in 1978 and 1986, and they're this year. So this used to be my dad's shirt. So I don't actually know what year this is. I'm gonna guess this is early 80s.
So if you sold that, you could probably get a nice
Maybe.
little. Yeah.
I saw the same style for sale for about £140 at the minute. But yeah,
Okay.
it's a nice.
No
one.
games.
Oh,
No
so
virtual photography.
I downloaded some games.
Which ones?
Well, the Forspoken demo, not tried it,
No.
and The Witcher. I thought, you know what, let's do it, and I installed The Witcher.
Wait, you had the game before? You didn't buy it?
Yeah, no, don't tell anybody. I already owned it, so all of this outrage that I might play it because of the Photomode. Yeah, I already owned it, so. But I hadn't played it then, and
even with multiple playthroughs of God of War, The Witcher 3 is still the game that I have the most number of hours on. I have almost 400 hours of The Witcher 3 in one playthrough.
Wow. There's either a lot to do or you're really slow.
It was before. It was during a period of my life where I didn't look at guides.
Yeah.
So the world is really, if you find something, there is like a lot of things to do about that something. And instead of following a guide, I was like an explorer. And there is this really cool card game called Gwent.
Yes, I know of it.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not
I
a
tried to
recluse.
collect. I tried to collect every single card of Gwent.
Yeah.
So most of my playtime on that is either exploring or playing Gwent. It's not actually playing the main story or doing side quests.
Yeah. As all best RPGs have.
Yeah.
And triple triad. Still.
Tetramaster is so much better.
How about you, anyway, last week?
Oh, God of War Ragnarök.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah. I had a lot of work during. So, my company offers us the week after Christmas, before like the last week of the year. They give,
Cool.
like, we don't work. So I'm trying to like condense the next week of work in this one to see if I don't start the year overworked already.
All right.
So yeah, I'm been working a ton of hours more than I usually do, and God of War Ragnarök. Like today, I was fighting the Nihog.
Yeah.
That the detail, once you get like a ton of hits and go into photo mode, when you are really close, you have to be really close because the camera distance sucks.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, but the details, like the texture work is like, how?
Yeah.
In that one specific, I've been like trying to get a lot of close-ups, seeing like the whole, is it a PS4 game with PS5 skin and whatever. if those details are on the PS4 version of the game, it's something else.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't actually know, but I suspect they pretty much are just scaling down the resolution. But I don't know. I actually wanted to get back to that fight because I've just today, as in the day of the recording, I've finally updated the God of War review, which I wrote in my head while on my tablet on the way to New York, but I hadn't typed it up and I didn't have the captures for it. So I've also been back on God of War actually, and I wish I had a save at that point, which I didn't. I've got a few, and I wanted that battle,
and I completely. There are so many great battles. The first time that you fight a Valkyrie,
yeah,
in the story,
yeah.
If you had a photo mode back then, you would know who that Valkyrie is because of the hand tattoos, the sword. There are a lot of things in the model that says who's behind that mask. So I'm starting to think that maybe the delayed photo mode. Yeah, after the fight.
Yeah, but that's not that
during
far.
the fight, there are a lot of. We saved your sisters. Why are you attacking us? Yeah. Odin finally got control over a corporeal Valkyrie. Stuff like that. So I'm starting to think that maybe, just maybe, the delay was actually also because of that. Because they didn't want us to find the secrets before they were revealed.
I don't know. Maybe. Okay.
I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I will always give them the benefit of the doubt.
Anyway, we did God of War. We've already done God of War. We did. This episode is just all about the whole year, right? Yeah. In virtual photography context, not just everything.
Yeah. Because otherwise, it was horrible.
I've had quite a good year, actually.
Yeah, me too, but yeah... But yeah, where do we start?
Oh, tough. I guess a good place would be some of the showcases. If we're sort of doing a summary and a roundup of the year and something that's been quite... it's not new this year because others have already done it, but there's definitely more of them this year, is these kind of community showcases, you know, like the studios putting together... And it's not just virtual photography, fan art and cosplay as well, but they're bunching this all together.
It's really cool that we are all together.
Oh, like, yeah, I agree.
Was it yesterday? The Santa Monica thank you to the community video?
The behind the scenes one. Yeah.
It starts with virtual photography. Like we are in at the 1 minute mark. Yeah. A lot of virtual photography. It's like, yeah, this is so cool to see. Like I said, I still think cosplay is bigger than virtual photography. So to see us alongside them, it's really, really cool.
It definitely... I mean, that's a good example of one, because that's like a really... I think it's what they would describe as high effort. Like making that video was quite an involving process. Yeah. So yeah, it was really nice to see. I mean, it was nice to be one of the ones in it as well, obviously. But even if not, it's just brilliant to see them including the Photomode shots in there, and like you say, alongside everything else. Santa Monica don't do a regular one yet, do they? But like Insomniac have started a regular one.
A lot of at the beginning of the year, they did a lot of challenges.
Yeah, they did actually.
Show us the tattoos, show us the runes, dragons, whatever. They did a lot of those at the beginning of the year, and as they got closer to the release of Ragnarök, since they couldn't do it, they started to slow those down. I think the last one was Vistas or something like that.
Yeah, hopefully they'll come back again once things have kind of
they will
settled down.
A slight twist. That is information that you don't know, but I do.
Okay,
it's coming back with a slight twist.
Is this Discord information? Yeah, I see. Well, all right, we'll see. We shall see. As long as the twist isn't you can only post it on Discord,
then you won't like it.
Oh my god. You know what? They
No,
launched
no,
that
it's not.
Discord.
It's not going to be exactly like that.
It better not
They
be.
actually did something really cool too. You aren't on Instagram, so
Well, I am. I just don't use it.
yeah, you don't use it. So what they do is that they go over the Steam community. So this is a fanboy podcast of Santa Monica. Sorry, they go on the Steam community screenshots and they post that screenshot on Instagram, and they credit the artist
Okay.
that took that screenshot. So it's another showcase.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, there was actually... just to give credit to others as well as Santa Monica Studio. As much as we do like...
There are other studios out there?
There are, apparently, yeah.
Whoa.
As much as we like Santa Monica, there are others. And not just... I mean, the PlayStation ones do their own showcases, which is great as well. I think Guerrilla's probably the longest running one, actually. They started the monthly one on YouTube. That one's really cool. Because it appears on the PlayStation dashboard as well. You know, like the news of the game.
Have you checked if we are on the PlayStation dashboard today?
If Photomode Unplugged has got its own slot on.
the article that we did.
No.
Did you check on that?
I haven't checked, no. The blog posts don't usually appear on there, do they?
I don't know. Huh. Because Control also puts the thumbnail of the showcase in the PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly. So they're another one that's still been doing the showcases. There was a Tomb Raider one as well. I think that might have just been one. It was early on in the year.
Was it?
I don't remember seeing it since. Yeah, it could have been.
They could have stopped since they were sold to Embracer Group at the beginning of this year. So maybe that changed.
Possibly. Yeah. But in general, just a bit more recognition, I guess. You know? Like appreciation, possibly, even.
Yeah. Something that I noticed on the Santa Monica stuff is that no dev mentions virtual photography. They show our pictures, but no they mention streamers, cosplayers. I saw the whole video, and they mentioned cosplayers, artists, streamers, videos, YouTubers, whatever, but never virtual photographers.
Well, that's that. That's the end of it then.
Yeah. What's the point?
We're living a lie. Damn.
I was saying to you before the beginning of the recording, I also feel that we got more photo modes in general, or games that didn't release with photo modes got them patched.
There's been, I mean, a really good example of one that got it as a post-release patch was Deathloop. So Deathloop's photo mode is out of this year, and it's probably one of the best photo modes of the year as well, actually. I played it for the 30-day challenge, and actually it was I decided to do every day. You know, it's a different theme every day for 30 days, and I decided to do it all in one game because I wanted to make it difficult for myself, I guess. But I chose Deathloop to do it, and it turned out to be absolutely the perfect choice because it just really flexible. Lots of just nice creative options in there, and it made it not easy, but it made it possible, definitely.
Deathloop has to be the game that seemed to have been made tailor-made for me, but one single detail wasn't. I love roguelikes, and I love a good mystery. So a roguelike that gives you more information as you run, I love that. But it's first person, and I hate first person games.
I didn't engage with the game as much as I did. The art style's great. The photo mode's excellent, but the game loop. I can add a sound effect for that if you want. The game loop didn't really draw me in, to be honest. In the end, I actually, for the sake of just getting places with the photo mode, because you can turn on like one-shot kills and stuff. So you're just powering through.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Has there been more photo modes? I don't know. I'm not keeping a running total. There's been some big ones. We've had another Horizon.
Midnight Suns released with a photo mode, which is maybe a first for 2K. I can't remember a 2K game that had. It was definitely a first for Firaxis, the developers.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the 2K ones, but I think I can't. The sports games have replay mode.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ish.
What I liked with that is it's a really novel take on things as well, because this photo booth where you can place, it's essentially, a bit of a studio.
I have it on my shopping cart at Steam, and every day I look at it and think I'm going to stop Ragnarök. I have enough photos to last me a few months, and then I can just like play Midnight Suns, try the photo mode. But I haven't seen any photos of it other than the photo booth ones. And I want to see like the gameplay photo mode shoots of the game.
It's a good point, actually. That is one. It's still a failing of the virtual photography community on Twitter, is that there's
3 games, 6 games?
Very narrow scope, because that's what sort of the algorithm rewards, if you will, and you either people don't shoot it or you simply don't see it. I don't know, a bit of both. Yeah,
I tried to search for the hashtags, but the hashtag give me clips, gameplay clips.
Yeah, I guess that's what's out there. But yeah, I don't know. They're like how many there's been. There've been some really different ones. I mean, I think it was quite early on, but Sifu. That is an interesting photo mode.
Yeah.
A really great art style again. This is what I'm enjoying, is that the photo mode's being integrated with a wider variety of styles of game.
Instead of only hyper realistic, we get like
exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else like that, actually. And it doesn't matter, but yeah.
Biomutant was last year, but it received an update. So now Biomutant has mind-blowing depth of field.
Okay.
And full tilt.
Oh, because it was
didn't release
limited before.
Yeah.
Okay. I might.
But still, receiving an update is still really cool. Like Kina is a good example.
Absolutely. That was
Kina
largely.
Or Kenna?
Yeah, I say Kenna, but I think when I first heard it in the game, it was more of a Kina. But yeah. Anyway, that was why I put them in for best community support. One of the reasons in the awards this year, I thought that it deserves recognition for the fact that they've come back a year later, because it was your anniversary update, with not just like a trivial update to the photo mode, but the full lighting setups. And that, I mean, I love the team there. They're really passionate about this sort of thing because they're a cinematography background anyway. But to see them not just settling for, it's done now, we'll leave them to it, which is easy that others may or may not do.
Most photo modes do that.
Yeah, exactly. And not just adding like poses even, but like genuine new features like that. I thought that was a really encouraging sign, and I'd love to see more.
And
games
usually these anniversary editions, they have the usual content like new suits, new modes, new whatever. They added that and an upgrade to the promo. Yeah, it was really cool to see. I played 1 hour of that game. Took 4 shots.
Really?
It's the game that I have on my Flickr with the least amount of shots.
Oh, is that because you didn't like the game, or?
I have no idea. I do remember. There was a glitch on the photo mode at launch. Weird flickering glitch on the head of the characters. I don't remember if they fixed it or not.
No, it's not fixed.
But after that, it's not fixed?
It's not fixed, but it only happens if you freeze it. So in Kenner, you can have the animation play all the time.
Yeah.
I actually asked them. I can't remember if they answered it in the interview. It seems to be like something to do with like anti-aliasing on the. 'Cause it happens most on the hair. So if you think while it's moving, it's doing all the anti-aliasing on the hairs, and as you freeze them, it sort of seems to try and keep interpolating those frames, and that's what smears it. And it's just a bit of a mismatch between the post-process stuff in the pipeline and the Photomode freezing it. If you let it keep playing, then all right, she just sort of bounces around a little bit, but you get a crisp shot then. There you go. Top tip.
These were tips with Mick. Mick's tips. We should start a segment now that we have a blog post on the PlayStation blog.
Okay.
We should start a segment of tips.
So we'll cover that next then. So.
Oh yeah.
This is, I mean, it's a moment of personal pride, I guess. So anyone who's not seen it, we've collaborated with our favorite podcast studio, Sony Santa Monica.
Yeah. We did.
Go on.
Go ahead. Go. I'm still in shock that happened, to be honest.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we worked with them to put together a post originally for the Santa Monica blog, but with the caveat of also probably for the PlayStation blog, which is indeed where it's ended up. And it's about tips and tricks for it was mostly pitched as a beginner's guide, really, wasn't it? A new user's guide for the Ragnarök Photomode.
Yeah. If it was tips and tricks, I would like maybe write it in a different style, but the original pitch was a beginner's guide for these kinds of shots.
Yeah, that kind of is still tips. It's beginners tips.
Yeah,
that is.
But like a good one is, so this week I posted a picture of Kratos, and he's with the chains and the eye is looking sideways and it's framed in the chains, and now I can get that basically anytime that I want. I would call that a tip, and a guide is more like, oh, see this, like what I said on my portrait shot, this is framing, this is how you get framing, that's a guide. I don't know, it's words have meaning. 2 words are different for a reason.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah, I know what you mean. Tips would be more like a short collection of sort of handy little things to try.
Like what you did. You used to have that on your. I actually got how to catch lightning on Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, because of that.
I know I should do more, but
no, you should do those as reels and TikTok videos.
Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, but back to the blog post. The reason that's a kind of an interesting thing, at least for this year, is, as far as I know, I think that's the first sort of user-led, as in the post was written by external users, in the virtual photography space, at least anything to do with Photomode. They've had Photomode posts on there before, but they always come from the developers themselves. So
I think Colin had one.
For Bend,
Oren for Insomniac. So there have been, like, Grace from Santa Monica wrote one about the features of the Photomode when the Photomode was announced.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, by the way, we'll put the link in the description for anyone who wants to see, because that's a thing I hear on YouTube. Link in the description. I get that. Can we make it pop up as well somehow?
But in the corner. I will make sure to put a card. If you click on it, you will go to the blog post. Also, if you click the one below, you will have to scroll through the like button. Be sure to smash it while scrolling.
Is that near the subscribe button as well?
Yeah, it is. Because we have more viewers than subscribers.
Yeah, exactly. Sort yourselves out. Come on. Or the subscribers watch it more than once. Which
I know there is a number that if the video hits, it stops counting the repeated views of the same account.
yeah, that's just to stop you.
But I'm
Botting
not
it.
sure which number it is.
Yeah. 1.
I wish. I really wish repeated viewership of one video wouldn't make the number go higher.
You wish it wouldn't?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I want to know exactly how many people are seeing this, not
Yeah.
how many times they are seeing.
But then it gets complicated because what if someone watches part of it and then has to stop watching it and comes back on later? They still want to watch.
I guess.
So let us know in the comments if you've ever watched an episode more than once. And why.
I did.
I
did.
That doesn't count.
It counts. The YouTube thing counts.
Okay.
So yeah, it counts. So I'm
Fair
actually the 100 views we have on the previous episode.
Is
It
this
was
why
all me.
The viewing figures are dropping because you're getting fed up of doing it.
Yeah. I just put it on the background to make sure that the working computer doesn't go down when I'm doing something else.
Yeah, fair enough. Let it carry another view. Anyway. So on the topic of these articles and that, there actually has been a couple of interview style ones this year. I think it was this year. So PlayStation Germany, PlayStation DE, did 2 that I know of, maybe more, but they definitely did one with Peter Riley and one with Agent Vushel.
Yeah.
But they were an interview post, but I still thought that was really interesting. That's them showing an interest not just in the end result, in the pictures, but in the person behind it as well.
No.
It was only a regional one, but other regions could follow Germany's example there. Portugal
It
might
won't
do
be
it.
Portugal. It won't be Portugal. Actually, one of the highlights is, for me, I got to go on their podcast. I have a video of me showing people how to capture cool photos on Miles Morales there, but it was like one of the only times that they replied to me.
Well, it was for their own benefit, maybe. I don't know.
It was. It really was.
Yeah, but I mean, moral of the story though is that there's more and more of this interest and opportunities coming, and it's not all right. You know, people don't say, "Oh God, you again," that kind of thing. Yeah, and you know, make make no apologies for being the ones that are getting some of those opportunities, but they will come to more people. Every single time it happens, that means there's another one coming down the line, and it's just another sign of growth.
When I went the week, the episode aired the week before the release of the Last of Us update.
Okay.
And they never mentioned photo mode. And the next episode, someone mentioned photo mode during the guest mentioned photo mode because he saw my video.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of it. The beauty of this showcase is that it gets people talking about like that feature.
Exactly. I mean, that, I think I said it last time in the episode about the Red Bull event, but that was one thing that I really took away from the gallery over there, was that all of these people who've never encountered Photomode before and coming from different, artistic backgrounds went away knowing what it was, appreciating what it was and the potential in there. So the next time they hear about it, it's not just something they never heard of. It's, oh, I remember that. I know something about that now. And that in itself will just lead to, well, we shall see, but greater opportunities and interests, definitely.
I think those greater opportunities are already happening, like slowly, but they are. the Red Bull one is a great example. We had another one also in New York, the Ubisoft contest. It happened at a strange time, not so well marketed, but it happened, and people, for what I understand, already went to New York for that one.
Yeah, it was before the Red Bull one, actually. One of the things that I was sort of making a list of for this chat was the number of official contests, actually. Because previously, I mean, I don't do very many contests anymore because I've kind of transitioned into just the awards instead. But but that fills the gap there. But you've also seen the studios now running, and publishers like Ubisoft running them themselves. So it's not just a matter of a community-driven initiative and then supporting it. They're doing it themselves now. And I mean, how many official contests has there been this year?
A lot.
Quite a
lot. Yeah.
Ghostwire Tokyo, because that came with its update, I think. The Ubisoft one is huge.
Yeah, the Ghostwire Tokyo people received their packages this week. It was really cool to see. Yeah.
Nice.
On Twitter, they photographed the unboxing, everything,
as you do.
And it was, I never played the game, but it was like cool to see. I love collectibles.
I assume there was an umbrella involved.
No, there was like a satchel. It was pretty cool looking.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's this one-off, not so much one-off, but this not available in the shops type collectibles. Yeah, I love those. What else was there? There was Dying Light. I think that was earlier.
Dying Light is another one. Far Cry 6 held one last year and a new one this year with the same price, like a statue of the game and a flamethrower. Which is yeah. One of the weapon, one of
Naturally.
the the whole Far Cry 6 style is very guerrilla style, so they put stuff together with like stuff that they found, and they built a replica of the flamethrower. It doesn't work, obviously.
Oh, really?
It's plastic, yeah, but it's like it's a big chunk. It's big, and they
Where do you put things like that?
Oh, I would take out all of my Funko Pops and put it there. I don't care. It's a flamethrower.
Yeah, that I'd be a little bit at a loss with a prize like that. Like, I mean, you could do some great photos with it, and then I'd be like, I don't know what to do now. I don't know. Anyway, there's been so many. Deathloop, I'm pretty sure it had an official challenge.
I don't know the prices, but they did have one. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, so taking the Ubisoft one again as the example, going to not just kind of little giveaways like that, pretty big expense to host a New York gallery. And I don't know, do you know how many people did they fly over for it?
It was only not 3. I think it was 4 categories, so 4. So each, from what I understood, because I entered the contest, from what I understood and I can remember, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong.
While liking and subscribing on your way.
Yeah, if you scroll past the like and the subscribe and you don't click it, don't ever come back. No, please come back. We need you. So it was 4 or 5 categories, and you could enter only 4 of those, and the top winner would be flown. Like the top of each category would be flown. But even the second prize is like a laptop.
Yeah, that's it. But not just any old laptop. It was like a 3.5K game.
Top tier, top tier laptop.
Exactly.
Yeah, better than my PC.
Yeah. Well, until it gets hot and then it just throttle.
But still, yeah, it was, and the last prize, like the third prize, was still really cool. It was like games, like ton of Ubisoft games.
Yeah. Did they get the Ubisoft Plus pass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Ubisoft, when they announced the that's the cool thing. When they announced the contest, you had that weekend the Ubisoft Plus was free, so you could like choose a game, go in that
shoot any
game,
of them.
take the photos, don't own the games, and just like then win the game. Like you could win the game that you don't even own by shooting a photo of a game. It was really cool.
It's better than winning a game that you already own, because that's redundant.
It's not. I
know what you
would
mean,
love like Ghost of Tsushima. I got the Ghost of Tsushima Collector's Edition after being the only Collector's Edition that I've ever bought. But I think it was Senwa that Senwa Sacrifice. They would a Photomode contest 2018, 2017 when the game came out. You would get a signed box of the game.
Yeah.
I don't care if I own the game. It's a signed box of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, stuff like that. Yeah, I get that. Special editions and whatnot.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, other events though this year, we're kind of just snaking through the different areas of this topic. Other events come to mind then because of this. So we mentioned like the gallery there in New York.
Yeah.
So you had a gallery just recently in in Lisbon. Well,
oh yeah, I did.
yeah, have you
It was
forgotten
so
already?
long ago. No. It seemed so long ago. It seemed so many stuff happened after that. Like the Red Bull was like the week after that or 2 weeks after that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really cool. It was like even with the stuff with Santa Monica, I think the gallery for Lisbon Games Week was like the high point of my year in terms of virtual photography. It was something physical in such a digital medium. Is such a it was something physical, something tangible that you get to talk to people, to see people, to see their faces when they see your pictures, because we don't see that.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, most people see our photos while they are pooping. So yeah, it's like it's so cool to see their reaction. Like maybe you get this picture is cool. There they are like, whoa, this is cool.
Yeah.
It's different. It's so different.
I totally understand what you're saying there. And first of all, seeing the shots in physical form, it just makes them all the more impressive as well. But yeah, watching other people seeing the art and interacting with it, as in reacting to it and getting drawn in by it, it speaks so much more about the quality of the content as well.
I didn't ask you this last week, but you didn't have photos. Your photos weren't there.
At New
Photos
York?
taken by you. Yeah, at New York.
No, well, no.
So
That would be cheating.
I did that.
Yeah, but that wasn't okay. No,
There was a contest and my photos, but
Yeah.
still, because you didn't see people reacting to your shot, but
I
you
didn't.
see people reacting to photos from VPs that were there.
Yeah, and the reactions of the VPs that were there reacting to, like, so the best in show winners all had a little blurb that I'd written about that shot, and some of them were just like, "Oh my god, this is thank you so much for writing this," and it's like it's made me see the shot in more depth and detail as well now. So I really enjoyed getting that response from them. But it didn't really bother me whose shots were on show, because they all looked fantastic. And it was just really about seeing people who didn't know about it before, learning about it, and appreciating it for what it was. Now, you think Lisbon seems a long time ago. We also had London Games Week this year.
Yeah.
Which was April. It was the end of March, start of April. I can't remember the exact dates.
I just closed the tab by mistake.
I think it might have been the 1st of April even that I travelled down. But that was on display in Trafalgar Square in London. So, really, really busy part of London. So you were at a game show. This was out for the public. So you were getting totally cold audience who had no idea what this was. There's also, it's just, all right, London Games Week's on, so they know there's something to do with gaming. But then just wandering past and seeing, and it helped that they were like 6 feet tall. You couldn't really miss them. But seeing all these boards, and they'd stop and they're like, so what is this? And this is definitely the best approach, is showing them the thing first and then telling them how it was done. And they're like, oh, wow, that one's incredible. Like, that looks amazing. And people taking pictures of the pictures.
Yeah. It still freaks me out. Like, I still get... there is this one post of Lisbon Games Week, but for some reason gets a lot of comments, and I'm tagged in it on Instagram. And it still freaks me out that it's a badly taken picture of the gallery, but it's cool to see, like, a picture of a picture. It's really cool to see. Yeah,
I just think it's cool that people take pictures of things they want to remember.
Yeah,
that's a key way to look at it, and they're seeing that and going, wow, I want to remember this, or I want to show someone else this, maybe. Yeah. Brilliant. Like, getting the work out there in physical form, like you said, is something that is almost underrated. Like,
there is something to be said also about that reaction. That is, I get that sometimes on Twitter, but to see that reaction on person is, we are not playing the same game. The game that I played looks nothing like this photo.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's just a matter of angle, a matter of composition, a matter of anything. But it is the same game that you play.
Yeah.
And that reaction, like, to see it live, it's really cool.
Yeah. And that's like literally the best thing about... So I think now Photomodes, it's the best thing about Photomode, that it lets you engage with the games on a totally different aspect of the game. I think it's also almost like making the developers even more aware. There's things in the games now that you would never see if it wasn't for photo mode.
Yeah.
Like there's details on characters at an angle that you wouldn't be able to see simply.
No.
Like it's just a self-fulfilling thing.
I was talking to you about, like, that first Ragnarök Valkyrie fight.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There is a point where there is no face under the mask, but the eye is still there.
Yeah.
So you just see an eyeball there.
Things like that happen in games.
Yeah, things like...
In Ratchet and Clank, you could get the camera inside Rivet's head and just have big eyeballs.
That happens on Hellblade, I think, a lot. You can also go through Senua's face and just see the eyeballs and
teeth.
the teeth. Yeah.
Teeth and a tongue.
But that's the thing. Like, Ubisoft got a lot of backlash when that happened in game during one of the Assassin's Creed. But now we have fun with that because we don't go on Twitter to shit about it.
Yeah, but there's a difference between it happening in game and you manipulating the camera when it's frozen.
I guess.
Like when, like, do you remember the Mass Effect?
Andromeda.
That was in a bad state, and that's in cutscenes and stuff, and that just really spoils the immersion. Yeah.
Another one, completely different than real life shows, but it actually released this year. The PlayStation app now uploads your photos.
Was that this year?
Yeah, it was. I have it here. Oh, not again.
You had it here.
I have it here.
It's hard to remember how much was this year, and there's some things that you think must have been this year and wasn't.
It was January 2022.
Okay.
The sharing captures in PlayStation app.
Yeah. So I don't use it. I use it only if I haven't downloaded the shot myself and I just need quick access for somewhere. I have it turned on, but I don't retrieve my shots from there by routine. But it's nice to have. I mean, Xbox already have it. And in fact, Xbox can back it up, to, is it OneDrive? Presume it's OneDrive, because...
And I think it's more than 14 days. So PlayStation only saves it for 14 days. And there is like... How many photos can they keep?
I didn't know there was a limit. I didn't know there was a limit at all.
There is a limit.
I tested that. I was quite impressed with the quality. It is a JPEG, but it's like 100% quality JPEG, so it's almost indistinguishable in compression.
It is a JPEG. I didn't realize it was a JPEG.
It is a JPEG, yeah. But it's a really big, high-quality JPEG. You won't really notice, especially not on a phone screen, which is where it's sending it. But yeah.
20.
No,
No,
you can do
it's
more than
more.
20. It's quite a lot. I don't.
Oh, maybe it was just loading the last time that I tried this. I've tried it maybe twice. So maybe it was just loading when I tried it and didn't upload all of it.
Just a quick look. Excuse me.
And last one, the flicker thing.
The flicker thing. Oh, you mean well, two parts to that, isn't there? I'm just having a quick look at this captures.
Flickr on World Photography Day, they added best virtual photography category to their contest.
Yes. So
now they have a whole side of the website dedicated to virtual photography. You can now tag your photos as virtual photography.
It's literally a new genre of photography. And what I thought was important there is that, one, I liked it being recognised on World Photography Day.
Yeah.
And we discussed
I do
whether
a
we
thing
need...
yeah. Okay, so there is a point of debate between me and Mick. I started a thing, I think it was last year, where the day after World Photography Day, I started the World Virtual Photography Day with Spiggy as a joke. At the beginning, it was as a joke. More and more people started to join, so we decided to celebrate it again in 2022. We are probably going to do it again in 2023.
And it's the day after World Photography Day.
Yeah, and the debate is there isn't a World Photography Date and a World Digital Photography Date, so they shouldn't be separated.
Exactly.
They should be celebrated together. But I still think it's just one more reason to celebrate things.
I mean, you could do it on the same day and nobody would respond any differently. But I mean, to me, I like to make the all these different branches of photography to be just treated equally, rather than it being some poor cousin, because it's not. And in fact, this is another spin-off. We can't go into any details on this yet, but there's conversations now within the International Center of Photography in New York as a result of the Red Bull contest. There's greater interest from them now.
Ooh.
So, lots of conversations to be had there. But this is just another thing of them going, oh, wow. They're just seeing it as a new form of photography, a new expression of the art using a different medium. So this is why I think it should all just be under the same day, umbrella, whatever.
I will find out how, but there is a way to do a poll on YouTube videos.
Okay, yeah. I saw it, actually. Yeah,
so we might run this, if we remember.
So we might run this.
Should this be two separate days, World Virtual Photography Day and World Photography Day?
Yeah.
Or should it only be celebrated on World Photography Day as one medium?
Yeah.
Okay.
So back to what you said about Flickr. Flickr did it as part of the same day. So they had a contest for all the different categories and added as a new one this year, virtual photography.
No.
Did
They
you-
aren't. They didn't do it for best of the year. They do it every year. Like the last, like photography of the year is a Flickr thing at
Yeah.
like the VP awards.
Yeah.
Where it's and they didn't have the virtual photography part of it.
In
Maybe I didn't read enough to see if like it's just one photo, so they consider virtual photography as one photo. If they did, like you said, they are dividing the medium. They are just having world best photography, and it might be also include virtual photography.
Well, I think they probably will because, like you said, you can now upload. You can have a virtual photography specific profile that tags all of your shots as that.
Previous years, in previous years there was the same thing, and they had a category called screenshots, and you couldn't enter screenshots.
That's what I was meant to say before. One of the things I liked most is that they said, why do we need this when you've already got screenshots? So they recognize the difference between original composition and simply a screenshot. They're like, screenshots doesn't cut it. It doesn't describe the art form.
It was when I stopped using I take fancy screenshots as my Twitter bio.
Oh, good.
It was that blog post made me change it.
Okay. Good.
No.
I'm glad about that, actually. Because I always said that annoys me because it's just underselling it.
Oh, it was. It was very much to annoy certain people.
Well.
It wasn't like... I never saw it as fancy screenshots. It was like very much to annoy people. No.
Successful. But yeah, that's a big step. And whether a lot of people are using Flickr yet, I'm not sure. But just to see another massive, would you call them an institution? Maybe. Another massive brand at least getting behind it. You've gone into the abyss of attention elsewhere.
No, I'm trying to find out, but yeah, they are treating it as a medium. They don't mention separate, so they are really into celebrating.
Exactly. The only downside I could really pick at them for it was that they had one judging route for their winner for that, and the judge was from Second Life and the winner was from Second Life. So it was a Second Life shot chosen by the creator of Second Life. Shock. But it's the first time, so we'll let that slide.
Let him pass. If it happens again, we will get the mob.
Yeah. Moral of the story: pay attention to the credibility of the judging panel. Yeah. On your chosen contest/awards ceremony.
An argument could be said that having a majority of PlayStation judging panel is bad.
Well, it's not. Yes, okay, I accept that, but that's a byproduct of who gives the most support. Yeah, I know that, but part of what I say to them is this is impartial and not biased.
Isn't Ninja Theory from the UK?
Yeah.
Are they hard to contact? You instead of going through the publisher, Microsoft, you could maybe go straight to the studio and try that route.
Okay, so this year I managed to bring on Ember Lab. This is back on the VP Awards, by the way. Anyone wondering what we're talking about. I got Ember Lab on, and they were really enthusiastic about it. Actually, they in fact said they would be honoured to be a part of this. So this is what their value on Photomode and virtual photography is. And they've nominated their cinematographer to be part of it. So Boa, who's on the panel now, is their cinematographer. And I was like, brilliant. That's a different eye. He's looking for the really cinematic shots, the style of shot, We've got Shauna from Ubisoft.
Yeah. And the fun thing about Shauna is that she's so passionate about virtual photography, but she doesn't share that much virtual photography.
Of her own.
Of her own, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I
It's
guess that's not her job on social media, is it? But
yeah, but it's not. So she is social media. She does social media for Just Dance. Doesn't have a photo mode.
yeah.
She everything that she does for virtual photography is from her own time,
Okay.
and usually that means like a person that is heavy into virtual photography. But she isn't on social media to share virtual photography.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a I. The invitation was sent to have her on O Snap, and I would love to have this discussion with her.
I mean, I know that she's keen to have Ubisoft do even more as well, and almost to not appreciate. That's wrong. To recognize the potential in what she's doing with the space as well.
Yeah.
Because the difficulty is a lot of these big companies, it just goes to a team in a boardroom somewhere, and they're not quite connected to the ones who are in contact at the front of it, like she is. But I, as far as I know, then her voice is getting heard, and they're seeing it. So that's again another. Ubisoft are massive into photo mods, or at least they appear to be.
Yeah, and the thing is, no one credits Assassin's Creed enough. Everyone talks about the big boom was Horizon, the big boom was Ghost of Tsushima. Every Ubisoft game has a photo mode. Every Assassin's Creed game has. I only experienced Odyssey, but it was pretty decent. A pretty good range, pretty good focus control, lots of filters, lots of control over everything. They are pretty
they're solid.
Good. Yeah, and they keep releasing them like that. The one in Far Cry 6 could be better.
Was Far Cry 6 the one that you did the little YouTube thing for? Was that this year?
No, last year.
Oh, okay.
November last year. That was. They have a fantastic feature in there. You can place vehicles into your vehicles and effects into your shot. In any place of your shot, you can control like a massive tank.
Yeah.
And just put it there, turn it around, flip it, and the same with effects, and the same with a lot of things. It's that feature. Like you can put lit a fire right next to a character, and then you have a light.
Yeah. More of them need this. It's almost verging on the in-engine side of it, of being able to place objects and do rigging, etc. I'm convinced that that's where things will end up.
No.
It's just a matter of making it in a user-friendly enough tool to go out there. But that gives me the thought on any other big collaborations and things has been this year. Any that you know of?
From virtual photographers with studios?
Yeah, or anything similar related?
Which is weird. No. Last year we had quite a few. You had your with Manifold Garden.
Oh, I want to talk about that actually.
Go ahead.
It's sat here near me for this just at hand. Manifold Garden wasn't this year, but it did win an award this year. The vinyl, did you know?
Really?
I'm going to show it you now. So here it is. I got it ready just in case it came up, and it did. So this is here's one I literally prepared earlier. I still haven't opened it.
Keep it. Don't open it.
No, because
never open that.
Nobody. It's got a pop up. It's got a 3D pop up inside, so I have to open it.
Can't they send you another one?
No, I don't think there's only 1,000 of them. This is number 320. It's numbered. You won't be able to see it there. But it's numbered.
That's so cool.
The little sticker here is.
Okay, we are right.
Album art by the podcast.
Wait. You have to first of all, you have to explain why that meant so much, and second of all, you have to explain it for our audio listeners.
Oh my god. Okay, so what happened here was I worked with Will from from Manifold Garden to do the cover art for his limited edition vinyl soundtrack, which is what I'm holding up, but you can't see if you're audio only. So the cover art was shot in game using DevTools, but in game, and then we put that together, and it obviously it's in print, limited edition, 1 of 1,000. The inside is a 3D pop-up of all of the stairways, the building structures with like these infinite stairways. It was originally going to have art in the inside, but we went just blank white to make the pop-up really stand out.
Yeah.
The vinyl has the stickers on it as well, and the sleeves. I did the covers for the sleeves. So that in itself was an amazing opportunity. It just a joy to work on, and having that there with the images I shot, and the back has got a little Easter egg for myself on it as well. There's a block there that I placed for a purpose. I'll show it sometime. But anyway, getting back to this year, it won best gatefold vinyl at the Making Vinyl Awards. So, award-winning cover artist there. I admit that the 3D pop-up probably had a lot to do with that. But whichever way you take it, that's an award-winning cover there, an award-winning vinyl cover. So I take that as a proud achievement this year, definitely.
Yeah, you should. Do you know how many people say on Twitter, "Oh, these photos that deserve to be in a cover of a game of an"? Yeah. You literally,
it literally is.
Have that.
Yeah.
You literally have that.
Yeah.
It's That's so cool.
It is. I love actually having it as well, because I didn't fully expect to get one.
Because they only put it in
so limited quantity. So when that came, I was like, "Oh my god!"
That's a cool gig.
Yeah, but you were saying that was a collaboration of Days Gone By. Doesn't seem to have been as much this year.
No, yeah. I last year I got 2 back to back. We know of other people you got that. This year it didn't happen as much, which is weird, because they probably should have had us as consultants for God of War Ragnarök Photomode at the very least.
So rumor has it we had the opportunity to fix that, which we didn't. Interesting point. So, like, consultants for it, would it have made a difference? I don't know, because I think the whole thing with Ragnarok is the whole development cycle, and
it was valid. Yeah. They knew. Okay, that was 2 episodes ago, but they heard the feedback. They just couldn't put it. Maybe in the future.
Yeah, we'll see. Definitely fingers crossed on that one. But I don't know. Yeah, one thing I think maybe this slight shift is that we're coming from 2020 and 21 of more things being less in-person events and more digital events. So perhaps that definitely benefited virtual photography for a start. Going back to lockdown, you can't go out with a real camera, but you can go and play a game with a virtual camera.
The numbers that I was getting on lockdown.
Yeah.
I have literally tripled my following number, and I don't get as much engagement because of that. Because everyone was on social media all of the time. It was the only thing that you could do on your spare time. So yeah, it was really crazy how big the community got at that point in time.
Yeah, it definitely catalyzed it. But the reverse of that now might be true, in that there's... So actually, going back to London Games, this is an interesting point. Do you remember that they ran a challenge again this year? As in, they called for people to enter their shots.
Okay.
But they never showed them.
Okay.
The showcase never happened. So, like, the previous year,
we had a whole video premiere. We were on the chat, yeah.
We did the YouTube thing. that was supposed to happen again, and it never did. Now, I don't have an official answer as to why not. Maybe you'll see it again at the next one. They're kind of keeping it in hand. I don't know. But I sort of interpreted it as this was their first year back as an in-person event.
No.
And the amount of extra stuff that had to go on. All right, they've done that in the past before, but now it was like, how do we do it in a post-lockdown era and things?
Yeah.
And it's only a small team, remember? Like, people lose sight of how big an organisation is or isn't. And yeah, I just think this shift back to doing things in person might have taken some of the attention, even some of the funding away from more of the digital interactions. Maybe.
Yeah, it's very possible. Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Because even now, since you get those interactions more often face to face, even with devs in the studio, you still get those like videos, photo mode tutorials like I did, but from the studio itself and not from people on the outside.
Yeah.
Really
Double-edged
quick,
sword.
we have to be really quick about it, but we did put out a post asking for the community to brag about their personal achievements and which ones were the most important. So I want to highlight two for the most important for the community. The first was definitely the live events, the galleries.
Yeah.
Many people saying the Red Bull, the London Games Fest, the Lisbon Games Fest. The other one, which is clearly the biggest one, is the start of the Photomode Unplugged podcast as a big, important mark for the community. And I'm not kidding. Several people mentioned that in the comments, so thank you
I like this one in particular and I'm going to get him, this is to double down on his great year, is Nico, who said getting to hear my name being mentioned on the Photomode Unplugged podcast. Well, thank you for that comment. And there
Twice.
you are.
Yeah, it's the second time, Nico. Okay, we also have Colin, I Like Detectives, who had the poster for the UK gallery. I think she's mentioning the London Games Fest, but also her work published as a book cover on an Amazon book. You were mentioning it before the episode started. It's a book about assets from video game assets being used on other art forms.
Exactly. It kind of passed me by, and I've seen even there's a Twitter account for it called Press Start is what the book's called. So it's called Press Start: The Use of Video Game Assets in Audience Creative Practices. A bit of a clunky name, but like it's a descriptive name at least, and it literally is, including machinima, so like using characters and rigging to tell stories and whatnot. In-game photography, and I didn't know that this book exists, and I'd love to see what's in that, because they're selling this on Amazon now, and presumably it's
Do you want to know how bad of a friend I am?
Go on.
Lem is in this book.
Oh.
Lem is in this book. Yeah, wow. I just remembered
I just didn't that Lem is in this book. Yeah. I'd love to see it. This is in the US. I don't know if it's available in the UK as well. Maybe. But yeah, it's really interesting. I actually met Colin very briefly in New York. She came over and went, "Hi!"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh," I'd literally just ordered a car. I had to run back to the hotel, and very fleeting, unfortunately. But that's something I forgot to mention, is this year has been the first time that I've met people in person, other virtual photographers in person. And I know we've sort of touched on it, but it's just a great experience of everybody getting on so well, because of, you feel like you already know them.
Yeah.
And even the ones that you've not encountered on social platforms. You've just got this shared interest, and it really just off and running straight away.
Even the ones that you just like passed by on social media, just dropped a like or a single comment or whatever. You can talk like you are long date friends because about virtual photography, about games for a while.
Yeah,
because it's a common interest. Yeah, it's something great. Yeah.
You've been through similar experiences as well because you've all been in part of the same growth and things through it. Yeah, I'd look forward to meeting more.
I always like, even on social media, to see newer ones.
Yeah.
And they look at us as the veterans. And like, you have been doing this for a long while. It's been 4 years for me. Only 4 years for me.
Yeah.
Which isn't that much. Another thing in the comments, a lot of people, and I want to mention this, I won't mention any names because basically everyone, or mostly everyone, said being recognized by the developers or by the brands, PlayStation, whatever. This is cool to see more brands engaging, more brands, game brands and game studios engaging with virtual photography on social media. This is really cool too.
Yeah. And I get why people hold that in high regard because it ultimately, whoever it is, if you produce a piece of art, you want it to be seen. And in this case, you've got a piece of art that is a derivative of someone else's art who made the game. So it means a lot to people for their creation to be seen by the people who gave them the tools to do it.
Yeah.
And especially for them to then champion it. So I totally get the whole high point of saying I got followed even by a certain studio or featured on a certain thing.
Insomniac was mentioned.
Yeah. Guerrilla, I think, as well. And people should be proud of that, definitely.
Yeah.
And anyone who says you shouldn't, then I don't know.
Oh, I hate. I simply hate. And this is one of the points that I hate is not strong enough. I despise everyone that says it's just a community manager doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because it's a job that I aspire to get, but but that community manager can then go on Slack and go on internal channels, share that. Commenting, Insomniac has, I think, 5 million followers on Twitter. They don't just randomly drop likes. Yeah. If they did, everyone would see those likes and be like, why is Insomniac liking this weird picture? They know they curate quality content. So it's great to be featured. It's great to be and to have people shit on that is really bad. Let's let people be happy about the things that make them happy. And if that, I still can't believe that I'm followed by Santa Monica, by Insomniac, by the others. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Guerrilla. I actually asked face to face, straight on.
I wonder what would happen if I asked them to unfollow you.
Oof. Many have tried.
Leave it with me.
Not face to face, but many have tried.
Oh, I'd love to. I'm going to see if I can arrange.
Don't do that. In my
even just temporarily.
In my analytics, there is an error that shows that Guerrilla is my top follower of November and December.
Okay.
So they appear twice. So please don't. Okay. But
has it been a better year than 2021 for virtual photography? Key question, I guess.
Ooh, no.
Yeah. So I famously, or not, said that 21 was the year of virtual photography because I saw that was as a real starting point for the growth of things. I'm not sure that the
follow-up
I'm
was
not sure
that great.
is as big as it could be yet, but that's just more time. I think it's still there. And like I said, there's maybe this adjustment period of coming back to other interests and stuff, so that's going to slow it as well. But the next key step is starting to get it at the big conferences and things. And we know how important these in-person events are now, and that's been a big thing this year.
Yeah,
that didn't happen last year. Is the in-person ones, and when that becomes more,
and we saw. Many people don't know this, but when Horizon released, there was a Photomode gallery in Australia by Drew. He organized that with Guerrilla.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And that happened a long time ago, before the whole thing started to become as popular as it is. And I think COVID threw a wrench on it.
Yeah,
like. It put a stop on it. It can't happen anymore, because it would have happened, and now we are starting to see that again, that flow happening again, which was good for us, bad for the rest of the world, because we got to grow as a community. We got to grow our numbers, we got to grow our followers, more people doing virtual photography, more people interested, more apps showing up. This year we also got a few new apps, virtual photography apps showing up. Not as much as last year, I think. Last year we got around. We had this same conversation on OSnap.
Yeah, I think we did.
And we I think we had more. And COVID put that on those breaks on a lot of things. It's accelerator and other things, like the projects with the studios maybe wouldn't happen if they could go to physical places and know people. But I don't think it was a bad year compared to others. Like, I just think it was slower than 2021.
Maybe.
Like, Red Bull had a big impact at the end, but the surprise, the shock of the first year, that was like big. I felt the energy over the internet with, oh my god, Red Bull is doing this. It's Red Bull and it's doing this. And now this year it was towards the end, towards the, okay, these prices are amazing. This is fantastic. This,
that was largely down to the fairly minimal publicity that it got.
Sadly,
they shot themselves in the foot there. Like, I don't know why, but yeah, they should have shouted about that a lot more. But yeah, I know what you mean. That it was, it like I say, I think it's just this adjustment thing. But we've had the opportunity for things to kind of incubate and for the studios to really become aware of it. And now when they start going out to the events again, it's all the more likely that virtual photography will have a place there.
Yeah.
You know, alongside the cosplay booths.
When we have a whole freaking, like, Gamescom, Lisbon, whatever, there is Iberanim, there is a whole lot of those for cosplays. When we get one of those for virtual photography, I will tell you, okay, is as big as cosplay.
Yeah, I still think there's probably more people on social media doing it though. That was my point.
I don't think so. I follow a lot of cosplayers. Okay.
So
anything else?
No.
So yeah, this has been this week's episode. I think it's our longest.
Oh, we missed our trips to Gorilla, but anyway.
Yeah,
that was a great thing this year. I appreciate
another humble brag from us.
Because if we lose subscribers.
Okay, this has been it. Please like, subscribe, comment what your biggest highlights were, and see you next week.
There's another
This
one yet.
is-
There's oh god.
This is not the last one yet.
Hold on, let's look at the calendar. This is going to go out on Saturday the 24th. We should have one on the 31st on New Year's Eve.
Okay, so we are going to shoot ourselves in the foot and have no viewers on that video, but that's a topic for another day. See you on the next one. Bye.